over, because now we've got a block with 3 speeches from the same place. Well, Marta has kind of given us a brief introduction, and everything we're going to hear from now on comes from the Domotics group, from the Domotics and Intelligent Environments group of the Alicante University. We have different representatives. We have Francisco Florez and Francisco Javier Fernandez, and as members of this group, the introduction is going to be provided for these 3 presentations. We are going to have an introduction done by themselves, by the group themselves. We're going to be flexible when it comes to the schedule, but I think it would be very positive to be able to have a Q&A session after each part. But anyway, Francisco is going to start off then, Francisco Javier Fernandez, and then with each of the 3 presentations, please feel free to note down any questions to ask at the end. It would be very interesting, I think, to have the chance. Well, I always find it very surprising, and not in a positive way. It's an unpleasant thing that I observe, the fact that there is a lack of consensus regarding concepts, lighting, etc. The same concept isn't always used. The graphic representation, for example, the icons, there's a great variety, it's very dispersed. I understand that there are no standards, but I think this would be a very, very interesting subject when it came to research, to develop a common language, not just in words, but in symbols, one that could be adapted and approved from this point of view of design for all, so that as many people as possible can understand and identify these symbols. Because as things stand, when you change from one system to another, then everything changed. Some of them talk about scenarios, and I don't remember right now the terms, but there are terms that vary according to the system, according to the manufacturer. And this is a shame, because there does exist the possibility to at least make things a bit easier for users, for all users, not just the users that are really clued up, but also the users that aren't used to working with these kind of devices. So thank you very much. So that's just something I wanted to say before we got started. So please go ahead. We're really keen to hear from you. Thank you very much. I am Paco Florez, and as Stefan said, I belong to the Group for Domotics and Intelligent Environments of the Alicante University. Well, what we wanted to do was to present, well, what I want to do is to introduce the research group, and then to talk about the different work that we've done, the different projects, and to kind of explain the framework for our research. So, we belong to a group which is considerably larger than other subgroups that work, for example, in computer architecture, etc. We work in domotics and intelligent environments, and we've been working for several years now, disseminating, researching and innovating in ICTs. We normally talk a bit with 2 C's, TICC, we're talking about information technologies, communication and control. The extra C is for control. So here we're talking about domotics, which involves other engineering disciplines as well. If we talk about dissemination, well, we organize an interdisciplinary domotics meeting or seminar. Here we've got the website that you can see on the screen, and also a transdisciplinary meeting on TICC for assistance. So we're always looking to kind of mix areas, mix fields, not just have technologists, but also people from different fields, so that they can all be involved. If we talk about, well, here, as we can see, we've got engineering in IT. We've had changes in the system, but we give courses on domotics and intelligent settings or environments, on interfaces, electronic control. We have postgraduates and summer courses in digital home technologies and so on. If you want more information about the group, here is the website. I should have updated it for the very latest information, but here you've got the link. We've got a group in Facebook, LinkedIn and Twitter if you want to keep up with us, to hear about the activities that we organize. So, to kind of explain the framework for the work that we do, we don't work just on accessibility or domotics for accessibility, but also in all areas for technologies and services for the digital home, so accessibility, system integration, renewable energies, etc. But it is a considerably important area is accessibility and the integration of the person in their setting. So here we've got an outline to help explain the work we've been doing. At the bottom we've got the devices, then we've got the integration layer for different systems, for different domotic control systems. And after that we've got middleware, which allows interoperability between all of the systems, so that all of the systems are not isolated, but rather they can all communicate with each other. And then we've got the description of the user interface and the interfaces themselves for the user. So, following on from this, two colleagues are going to present the part about middleware. In other words, this layer which takes the specific elements of control systems and ensures that they communicate with each other. And then another colleague will talk about the user interface generation for digital uses and the access of people with visual impairment, the visually impaired. And then we'll talk about Metaltic, the digital home. And this is all about how we've integrated all these things. We have a laboratory where all of this has been implemented and is in operation. So very quickly, I wanted to introduce the project, to give a bit of background and talk about where or what each of these presentations are going to be about. And now, well,